Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and we are back with the Maw. All right, we got Ebony Maw built up to tier 3. My man coming in like a boss with that miracle grow out here looking super fly. My guy. So here's the thing. Ebony Maw is kind of hard to play with a proc. I'm not even gonna lie. We have a crit damage 180 on him. Same thing we had for the World Boss Ultimate test. And now that we've gotten him to tier 3, I will say this. A lot of his damage comes from Burning Doom. Okay, a lot of his damage comes from Burning Doom. However, I feel as though to get the most out of Ebony Maw, you're gonna want to play him with a CTP of Judgment. You really are going to want to play him with a CTP of Judgment, because sometimes the proc just comes really late on the 5 or on the 3, depending on where you're playing him, right? If you're playing him in World Boss Ultimate, ideally I would say it's better to proc on your 3 so you get the extra damage from the enemy being mind controlled. If you're using him in World Boss Legend, maybe you want to proc on the 5, or maybe you still want to proc on the 3. It's completely up to you. However, I will say Judgment seems like the way, and it kind of is a bummer because one of the best places to use him is gonna be against KNULL, but they kind of shafted my guy by not giving him the ignore dodge on his tier 3, which means against KNULL you're not gonna do as well because KNULL has really high dodge. So ideally you're gonna need to bring Proxima for her leadership, which means you can't use my man's energy attacking leadership, and even then you might have to bring along some ignore dodge strikers or bring along Valkyrie to give you some more ignore dodge. So kind of a bum deal. However, he does get significantly better at tier 3 because he gets that nice juicy 70% defense down. You put somebody like Voodoo or White Fox on the team, and just like that you're up to 84% defense down, out here being able to one-shot bosses and whatnot if you line up the strikers properly. So overall, I think he is definitely a character that is worth building for more than just a PvP support. Okay, PvP support, he's gonna be really good because he's gonna make your sentry hit harder, and he's gonna make him tank more. Same goes for your surfer, right? All your universal characters are gonna get a significant buff. 10% more damage reduction, 10% more attack from him being on the team, and then his passives, they definitely help him out big time in PvP as well. So him being on the team is not actually just like a waste man support type of thing. Nah, he can actually do damage, and I will be testing him out in PvP later today, so look out for that. All right, we got more content coming for you with the Maw. Let's jump in, man. We're gonna do some test runs against KNULL, and maybe a couple runs against Mephisto as well. All right, boys, so first we're gonna go double support with his leadership and see how it works out. So we have very little ignore dodge here. We go 5, we go 4, we go 3, proc on 3, decent damage. However, the skills, when you cancel them, seems like you're wasting a portion of the damage proc there. So you can see why I said like the majority of his damage comes from his tier 3, and it looks like the tier 3 you might not want to cancel it because it looks like it has good damage throughout. I will have to do a little bit more testing to see where you could potentially cancel and still get all the damage. All right, so next rotation we're gonna go 5 quick cancel, 3 quick cancel into the tier 3. Really good damage from the tier 3 there, and the skill itself is beautiful. I love the animation. We'll proc on the 5. No, we won't. Okay, we'll proc on the 4 instead. All right, so 1 minute to get down. He's definitely not the fastest Black Order character, I'll tell you that, but he doesn't have a CTP yet, so we'll see how that changes for him. So this rotation here, we're gonna go 5 into tier 3. We should have a meteor dropping down anytime now. Yep. We'll do 3 into 4. We'll do 5 into. See the 5 now. That long cooldown kind of cucks us sometimes. It's very easy to lose his proc. He's not as proc friendly as the other Black Order characters, I will tell you that. We'll lower this guy to the top of the map here. Then we'll go 5 insta cancel into tier 3. You can insta cancel and you will still get the meteor, as you can see. I really do love his tier 3 animation. It is beautiful. I think that alone makes him worth tier 3ing. We might have to tag out there. We might have to sacrifice Mystique for the cause, because I was being greedy. Yep, Mystique is dead. Hopefully not the Maw though. Whoo, almost. So we'll go 5 into the tier 3. Yep, just push the phase there. We'll just try and get off a couple skills to rebuild. Okay, so proccing on 5 doesn't seem like it does that much damage. Just to me anyways. Alright, so we'll just wait for the 5. We'll go 5, 3, 4, tier 3, and yeah, so he's not the fastest, but he was still able to get it done in 252 there, so that's not the worst time in the world for a damage proc. And like I said, he doesn't have ignore dodge natively, and that kind of hurts him here because Null has really high dodge. Okay, keep that in mind. What we're gonna do here is actually replace Mystique for Proxima Midnight and try and see if having a little bit more ignore dodge and still having a support will actually benefit him. So he's gonna lose his own leadership, right? We're gonna replace it with Proxima, giving him 45% ignore dodge. So this is basically gonna show us whether or not 45% ignore dodge is better than 40% energy attack for Ebony Maw, since he doesn't have any ignore dodge coming from his tier 3 or anywhere else in his base kit. All right, so let's jump in, see if we can play similarly and get things done, hopefully with a faster time. We'll have to see. All right, boys, let's see if we can tear it up using Proxima's leadership. Let's bring that heat. All right, let's go 3, 4. Proc was late there. Let's go 5, tier 3. Let's go 5. Let's go 4. Okay. No, that kind of sucks. We got caught up, and then the poison. Yikes, yikes, big yikes. All right, so how many bars we getting? You know, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's like a solid 7. Yeah, I think for World Boss Legend, it's better to proc on the 4. Okay. Let's not yikes. I was gonna say let's not take too much damage, because even though we do have a heal, I wouldn't consider him to be any kind of tank or nothing like that. Proc on 4. Okay, I'm about to get him killed after I say he's not no kind of tank. Alright. That damage reduction definitely helps though. Alright, we'll do 5 into tier 3. We'll pop the 3 for the heal, 4 for the proc. I could have gone for 5, but I was kind of nervous, I'm not gonna lie, seeing the poison under my feet. Okay, let's do 5, 4. Okay, let's see if we can get him up to the top here. All right, let's go 5, tier 3. Yeah, we definitely are slower. Oof, oof. Hold up, boys. Oh, we just pushed phase. That's nice. The tier 3 iframe ignored came in hella clutch, boys. Clutchy? Can we hit from far away? Oh, no, 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 no. Bro, we actually tanked that. The extra damage reduction. Clutchy? Alright, hold on. So it looks like it's about to be the same time. Actually, it's a little bit slower, eh? Yeah. So even though we have the ignore dodge from Proxima, we were a little bit slower. But I honestly think it's because it's so much harder to be like super consistent with him because of the really awkward cooldown time on the 5th skill. So sometimes my proc is a little late or it's a little early, or sometimes I have to switch the proc from being on the 3rd skill to being on the 4th skill, right? So I definitely think this character is better off being played with a rage or a judgment than a regular damage proc. I know it's not what you guys want to hear, but where we are right now in the game, if you're not going to craft your cards, you kind of have to give the character CTPs. So you kind of have to compromise on some front, right? But overall, you can see for yourself, he's still performing quite well, if I do say so myself, with a regular damage proc. You can still proc on whatever skills you want to. It's just that sometimes it's not going to be as consistent. So if you want like a super consistent Ebony Maw, having a CTP of judgment on him or a CTP of rage, I personally think once you get over 10% pierce, then I would say CTP of judgment for sure. But below that, I think a rage, you can definitely do very well with him. So whichever one you have, I don't think you should give him an energy. That's just me, because he's an elemental character. So if you want something with chain hit, I would say go ahead and give him judgment. But since he doesn't have ignore dodge in his kit, I can see the argument for giving him a CTP of energy. All right, so we're switching back to the original team and just going with his own leadership because Mephisto doesn't have that high of a dodge that I'm like aware of. Yeah, so he is definitely slower. Definitely. But to be fair, we're using him with a regular obelisk. So we'll see once we give him a CTP if he kicks it into super overdrive. Really? Even after multiple tier 3s, you are still alive and kicking. And I don't think I'm missing my procs or nothing, so like, that's quite unfortunate. You can see where Mephisto not being a universal type, okay, proc was very much so late there, but you can see Mephisto not being a universal type, it means we're not getting Ebony Maw's uniform bonus, and you can kind of see where his uniform bonus is a large part of his kit. So bosses that you fight that are universal types, he will do significantly better against them. Now it is kind of a bummer that he does not have, he doesn't have the ability to cleanse debuffs, so that was able to happen to him. I think he got pulled out of his tier 3 early there, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't know why. Oh, okay, I cannot get out. Anyways, he didn't take that much damage though, which is quite shocking. I thought he would have taken a lot more damage. Oop, okay. My proc was super mega late there. Okay, let's just dodge that. We're able to keep the proc, so that's good. Thank goodness for the heal. Alright, so we'll do We'll actually do 3, 5, and then tier 3. Yeah, I think he will be stronger once you give him the judgment, just because you won't have to worry as much about missing the proc and stuff. So you can play a bit more aggressively. Oof. So just run straight up. And we'll duck out of those. Alright, we'll just evade that as well. Okay, so decent amount of damage. Oh wow, he did another one of those. Ebony's Ebony's movement actually helped us there. Yeah, that was my fault, but it's fine. I will say he's not wowing me against Mephisto here. The proc was very much so late. What? Oh, for some reason I thought he had enraged again there, so I was looking for the the time portals. Okay, that actually helps us because I don't think my proc activated there. But the thing is, I kind of have to do this because he doesn't have debuff removal. So if I had popped my tier 3 there, Mephisto would have just hit me, and then I would have gotten pulled out of my skill. Nice, we were able to land the damage proc successfully there. Yep. Quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. He's not really wowing me for double support against Mephisto. No. Like, I think we got it here, but just barely. Wow. Now, I do think I could have played him a little bit better, but still it would have, I think it would have taken me 4 minutes, and that's not impressive. That is not impressive compared to the record-breaking times that we saw with Super Giant, Proxima Midnight, Corvus Clave, and even Black Dwarf, aka Cull Obsidian, who has a type disadvantage, right? Considering the fact that Ebony Maw doesn't have a type disadvantage here because he's a blast type facing a blast type, I would have expected a bit more from him, especially considering the fact that he has so many buffs in his kit. And we have his own leadership, we have Mystique's passive going with Valkyrie's passive, and in case you guys for whatever reason are not aware, we do currently have on this uniform, at the very least, let me show you from his passive here, we're getting an extra 30% damage to supervillain. So even though his passive on the uniform was not being applied against Mephisto, that extra 35, it seems like to compensate for all these buffs, his base damage isn't necessarily the highest, because if they gave him like some insane base damage, all these buffs on his uniform and his passive and stuff would just make him completely broken beyond belief. It also should be noted that he does not have damage accumulation, so that might be the reason why he's not looking like the best characters in the game, dude. However, that is not to say he's not great. I do think he's very, very, very good, right? And I do think he will make your Sentries, your Silver Surfers, and if you use Universal Dream Gray for whatever reason, right, I do think he will offer you some value in PvP, and that should not be belittled. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. I will be doing more testing with him. I will beef him up a little bit more. Keep in mind, his ISO set is not fully awakened. He's not using any kind of CTPs, so what you're seeing here can definitely be improved upon. But I wanted to show you guys how he performs with a, I would say, a mid-tier build, a build where you have majority of the stats in a very, very good place. However, I will like to say that Marble, what is y'all doing with this 1% crit rate buff? I just don't know what you guys are doing, right? So your boy's gonna have to spice him up, give him some more crit rate, maybe cap out the crit damage, and besides that, everything else is in a pretty good place.